Chapter 2. Welcome Aboard. As I departed from the Bureau's field office in Cherbourg, France, a sense of familiarity washed over me. The clerk had handed me a sealed envelope. "These are your orders, sir. Commander Hippel mentioned you'd be taking the lead on this one." The prospect of my own assignment sent a spark of excitement through me. My previous missions had been rather mundane affairs, involving the recovery of stolen artwork from government officials. But now the Secret Service had summoned me to Cherbourg immediately after I'd completed my last assignment in Paris. I wonder what they have in store for me, I pondered. Tearing open the envelope as I stepped outside, I found nothing inside but a ticket for a steamship. White Star Line Royal and United States steamers. RMS Titanic First Class Cherbourg to New York cabin C-73. As the word Titanic caught my eye, an eerie sense of foreboding washed over me, though I couldn't quite grasp its source. "Curious," I muttered under my breath. Time was of the essence. Evening was approaching rapidly, and the ship would soon set sail. I hastened to the White Star Line ticket office, joining a queue of fellow passengers waiting to board the tender SS Nomadic. It was here that I caught my first glimpse of the majestic Titanic, its well-lit grandeur casting a radiant glow upon the harbour waters, resembling a constellation of stars in the night sky. Once aboard the Nomadic, I climbed to the top deck and leaned against the railing, gazing at the magnificent vessel we were approaching. My training emphasized discretion, so I patiently awaited my turn to embark. Stepping through the D-deck gangway doors, I found myself within the opulent confines of the Titanic's first-class reception. Although the allure of exploration beckoned, I knew my immediate task was to reach my assigned stateroom. "You have a duty to fulfill. Sightseeing can wait," I reminded myself as I ascended the elegant grand staircase to C-deck. Arriving at C-73, I entered my stateroom. Rich sycamore wood adorned the walls with inlaid dado paneling and a crimson lincrusta. Above, the ceiling displayed intricate paintings and decorative paneling, crowned by an ornate frosted glass bowl ceiling light with a gilded frame. Within my appointed space, a brass bed beckoned for restful slumber, its gleam adding a warm contrast to the room's decor. A wash basin, a dressing table, a well-crafted writing desk, a steamer trunk occupied one corner. A knock at the door interrupted my musings. Who could it be? Possibly my contact, I wondered. Opening the door, I was met by someone clad in the White Star Line's uniform. "Good evening," he greeted me with a polite smile. "I am Smethels, your steward. I trust your accommodations meet your satisfaction." "They are quite suitable, thank you," I replied. "Very well," Smethels continued. "The White Star Line aims to ensure your voyage on the Titanic is as comfortable as possible. Should you require any assistance, simply ring the buzzer by the door." I nodded, then added, "Is it possible to have my meals delivered to my cabin? I anticipate needing to remain here for some time." A curious look crossed Smethels' face, but he agreed. "Certainly, sir, we can arrange that." "Excellent," I acknowledged. "Will there be anything else, sir?" he inquired. "No, thank you, that will be all," I replied. Smethels concluded our brief exchange and exited the stateroom. Turning my attention to the steamer trunk, I opened it to discover a phonograph with a cylinder already set in place. Upon inspecting the drawers, I found spare clothing, a cryptograph, and a yellow envelope labeled "Confidential." As the phonograph's recording began to play, Commander Hippel's voice filled the room. "His Majesty's government has dispatched an agent to rendezvous with you aboard the Titanic. Remain in your cabin until you receive further instructions. Once your on-board assignments are complete, secure passage to remain on the ship and return to Southampton for your next mission. For a more detailed overview of the international situation in the spring of 1912, consult the white paper included in this briefing. That is all." "That must be the paper," casting a glance at the yellow envelope. A blast from the Titanic's whistle signaled its departure from Cherbourg. It was then that I realized the weariness that had settled upon me after the long train journey from Paris. "I'll peruse the document in the morning," I decided. The following day, I dressed in a French tuxedo from my steamer trunk and immersed myself in the mission report. It appeared that the German Empire was causing growing concern, and my assignment was somehow linked to these escalating tensions. With each passing day, I waited for my contact, growing increasingly restless. For 3 days, I remained confined to my cabin, studying the ship's map that Smethels had provided. Here I am, aboard the grandest and most luxurious vessel in the world, and yet I'm trapped within these walls, I muttered to myself on the morning of April 14th, my breakfast finished. Around noon, a small note slipped beneath my door, captured my attention. Excitement surged through me as I retrieved it and read the scrawled message. "Meet me tonight on deck. Tell no one. Georgia." The name sent a jolt through my heart. Georgia. The service had required me to sever all ties with my past acquaintances for a period, and though that period had elapsed, I had refrained from contacting her upon learning of her marriage to Lord Charles Lambeth. How did she even know I was aboard? She must have seen my name on the passenger list, I deduced. I must meet her tonight. Yet the moment the thought of leaving my cabin crossed my mind, that same eerie sense of dread and foreboding washed over me, stronger than ever. I'll have to postpone it. My mission comes first, I resolved. Despite my desire to see her, I couldn't shake the feeling that something ominous loomed should I step outside. I continued to wait, growing impatient as the minutes stretched into hours.